This is BoomerLife on CL650.
Let me help. If your child needs a dad, I can help.
This is BoomerLife on CL650. I'm Joanne Sutton. Thanks for joining us today. This is our conversation about Alzheimer's disease and other dementias and how the goal of the Alzheimer's Society of British Columbia is to help get federal, provincial, and municipal support to help create dementia-friendly communities. Maria Howard, CEO of the Alzheimer's Society, is here with us today. And now we welcome Carol Ann Young from the City of Vancouver. In her role as a social planner, she has provided leadership on the Healthy City Strategy, the Age-Friendly Action Plan, and the Dementia Initiatives, all policies and or projects that illustrate City Council's commitment to a healthy city for us all. So, Carol Ann, it's great having you on the show today.
Thanks, Joanne. Great to be here.
Often, when we have our expert guests in the show, we like to start off and ask them if they have a personal connection to the disease. So, Carol Ann, do you have a connection that you feel comfortable talking about? And just wondering if there's something in your life that may have helped motivate you to seek out the work that you do with the Society.
I do have family friends who have had partners who are living with dementia. And so, while it's not my personal firsthand experience, I have, witnessed and shared conversations and stories about some of the challenges that my friends and families have had to deal with. And I think that, what I think I realize is this is an issue that can touch us at any point in our life, and it's really important, I think, for us to be aware and to understand how to be responsive and supportive of people living in our community who are living with dementia.
Well, it sounds like we're all on the same page, because the bottom line is having the conversation, starting the conversation, and you're a direct part of that now. So maybe, Carol Ann, you could talk a little bit about the City of Vancouver's goal in partnering with the Alzheimer's Society on this project of Train the Trainer and creating dementia-friendly communities?
Sure. So, in Vancouver, we estimate there's approximately 11,000 people living with dementia. And although we know dementia is not a normal part of aging, the likelihood of developing dementia increases as an individual ages. And in Vancouver, we know that people age 65 plus are projected to double over the next 30 years. So the incidence of dementia will likely increase. And I think as such, Council and our Seniors Advisory Committee have been really proactive in trying to respond. You mentioned the Healthy City Strategy, which, Council passed, which is a vision for a healthy city for all. But one of the key goals is building on the social determinants of health around feeling safe and included. And under this action, we actually developed and talked about delivering broad-based training to enhance capacity when addressing conditions that create vulnerability. And, of course, dementia is one of those conditions. So this strategy enabled us to make a partnership with the Alzheimer's Society back in 2014, actually. We started with the initiative of the Seniors Advisory Committee brought the Society in, and we developed a series of pilot project workshops, and they were so successful. We worked with the Society to then develop a video called Jim's Story, which has been really widely viewed and on a number of our joint websites. So we thought, let's keep going. We had some momentum, we had interest, and we applied to the Union of British Columbia Municipalities for $20,000 to fund the development of the Dementia Friends Train the Trainer program, so we could roll out dementia-friendly community training more broadly.
So maybe you could tell us how you actually plan to do that. How will you be rolling it out to the community? Sure.
So the curriculum was actually developed by the Alzheimer's Society with feedback from our training advisory group and people living with dementia and caregivers, rural partners in other municipal areas like Sunshine Coast and Revelstoke. And we also did a best practice review. And so with all of that information, a training manual and program was developed. And each training session has a goal of providing participants with the resources and knowledge needed to deliver their own 1.5-hour dementia training session to their staff and their departments. So the idea is kind of to web it out so that we train so many trainers, and then they go and do the training within their own departments. And so far, we've tested it with frontline staff in the library, engineering, social policy, a couple of our neighborhood houses. And we've just wrapped up the pilot, and the workbook is just about to go to press. And then we're hoping that we will be able to roll this out through the city's training program called City Learn. So anybody who is interested in learning how to be more dementia-friendly can take the trainer program and then take that back to their various departments.
Did you get any feedback from all those frontline tests that you ran?
Yeah, people were really positive. I think they really felt that they had come away with a deeper understanding of how to be more responsive, how to, be respectful in the type of language, how to approach somebody who might be disoriented, for example, in the community, and make sure that they get safe and secure support to get back home. So I think it was really well received. The other really exciting part was the fire department actually wants to look at taking the materials and doing an e-learn platform so we can roll it out for all the various firefighters and first responders in the city.
Well, I think that's an excellent idea. I'm surprised that they're not already on board, because anytime there's an emergency situation in our city, anybody who calls 911, it's always the firemen that show up first.
Yeah, they very much are on board. In fact, our fire stations are often the first place of refuge for people. So I think they're very informed and aware of the issue, but this is a way to just continue to build on that knowledge base. And, like in any organization, you have turnover of staff, you have new people coming in. This way it keeps people current and fresh with current practice.
Sounds perfect. So, Carol Ann, can you tell us what else is the City of Vancouver hoping to do to become more dementia-friendly?
Mm-hmm. So we are, as I said, we're looking at rolling out the training. We are working with our counterparts in Metro Vancouver Social Issues Subcommittee to make this material available to them, and hopefully it will be more widespread beyond City of Vancouver. We'll also be working with, once we've done the e-learn platform with the fire department, we'll look at whether or not we can roll that out as another format of doing the training. And we're just in the early stages of developing another initiative called social isolation among seniors. And so we'll be looking at how does the dementia-friendly city work link in with the social isolation work. And I guess the last piece, part of that will be updating our age-friendly action plan around social connections. And so, again, we'll be looking at how do we embed this dementia-friendly work in building better social connections for the citizens of Vancouver.
Well, it sounds like you'll have to work closely with the Alzheimer's Society of BC and I imagine a number of other groups because your strategies and your initiatives seem to blanket a big portion of the public, aging public, that baby boomer public.
Yeah. Well, and, I think we started talking about the Healthy City for All, and so this is about all citizens, and how do we, what do we have to do to make sure we are supporting all citizens?
Is there anything else you wanted to add to today's conversation, Carol Ann?
I just would like to say, working with the team at the Alzheimer's Society of BC, specifically Heather, Rebecca, and Barbara, who have really been our partners for, I guess, the last 3 or 4 years, has really been a wonderful collaboration. And I think with their vision and our council's vision and the strong support that we've had with our seniors advisory committee, this has been a little small, it started out as a small project that I think has really developed into something quite exciting. And I liken it to the little engine that could. It started out small and it's really gained a lot of momentum.
It's perfect. I'm glad you mentioned that, actually. We stress the importance of how we should all be aware of living in a dementia-friendly community. And I think Maria has a great story she wanted to share with us.
Great.
Well, it's been such a great partnership for sure, Killan, and working with the city has, really highlighted a number of different things that are really important, pieces that have to come together. And
getting that message out to the public and members of the community.
Absolutely. And one of the great stories that came to us recently through the transit police was of an individual who got on a bus, and as the bus driver was driving his route, he noticed that this woman who had gotten on the bus, who didn't really seem to be, maybe appropriately dressed for the day, seemed a little lost on the bus, moving seats back and forth, and also she wasn't getting off at any stop. And so as he drove his route, he began to sort of be somewhat concerned about her. So he phoned actually into dispatch and shared that she was on the bus and asked that someone would meet them at the original stop where she had got on, because they were coming close to this. And then he went to the back of the bus and said to her that he had noted that she had been moving around the bus quite a bit, and maybe she'd come and sit beside him because the best seat of the bus was up by the bus driver. And so she was quite happy to do that. And then when they came up to her original stop where she had gotten on, he had said to her that this was her stop and there was somebody here to help her, get to where she was going, of which then he connected her with the transit police, and she was quite happy. And I thought, what an amazing example of a dementia-friendly community where people just noticed something was slightly not right, and rather than just noticing that and thinking, no, I wonder what that's going to happen, actually reached out and did something. And if we all did that and had some support to know how to do that, how much safer it would be for people who are living with dementia, and how much more their caregivers and families would feel, some assurance that there are other people out there who can help, and their loved ones maybe aren't lost and vulnerable. So it was such a great example.
That's a great story.
It's a fantastic story, and I think it's a prime example of a program like Train the Trainer, training all those frontline people in your community to be aware of what to look for, and I just think that would be your ultimate goal, that everyone has that awareness, whether we're trained or not. We need to know which members of our community need help, and we need to feel confident that we can reach out and help them.
Absolutely.
Carol Ann, thank you very much for your contributions today and all your work with Train the Trainer.
Thanks so much, Joanne.
Carol Ann Young, Senior Social Planner with the City of Vancouver. She was sharing her thoughts on the initiative to make Vancouver a more dementia-friendly community and what it means to all of us and our friends from the Alzheimer's Society of BC. There's still a lot more to come on this topic, plus a few more details about the upcoming Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's. That's next on Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.